items that are disappearing from the grocery stores, price increases, and how we need to prepare for the worst. Let's discuss. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. If you have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee together, whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do this now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. We have a lot to talk about tonight, guys. I'll tell you what, it just when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. We have some different shortages, items that are disappearing in the grocery store. We are seeing more and more sorry for the inconvenience stickers at Kroger, meaning they're not getting their orders on some things. We have some new price increases to talk about. We have things that are disappearing. Over the last couple weeks, we've done a couple videos where we've talked about some items that a lot of our viewers have been seeing missing in the store, not seeing in the stores. Number one being over-the-counter medicines. Now, we've talked about this quite a bit, and the reason why we bring these things up as they come along is because we want to make sure that everyone is aware and prepared for what is to come. The biggest one, namely Equate brand at Walmart. I was at Walmart today. I didn't film any of it because we were talking about a different subject, although I probably should have, as it was very low. Very low, probably the lowest I've seen the Equate brand as far as like ibuprofen and acetaminophen. Basically the off-brand of Tylenol and Advil. Now, we've had several people that have commented on this from several different stores, namely stores like Family Dollar, which has been a big one lately because I do believe they're not, a lot of the ones that are going to be closing aren't getting a lot of products back in, but we've heard Dollar General, Target. Now, Target's kind of a funny one because that's one where we were directing people to find different over-the-counter medicines last year. If you remember, if you've been on the channel for a long time, you will remember that we were directing people to go to Target. I know people have mixed feelings with Target, but when it comes down to, hey, where can I buy this product? And it's the only place that has it, kind of like with the pet food. We were directing people to Target about a year and a half ago, and people were literally going to Target in droves to get their pet food if you were not one of the ones that was using Chewy.com. Although we do recommend using Chewy.com if you have trouble finding pet food because they still honor their $49 free shipping. Anything over $49 or over, if you're in their service area, you get free shipping, which is a pretty good deal, and you can work out different coupons and things like that. Now, a few of these items that seem to be disappearing, someone had mentioned Quilted Northern the other day. Now, we had seen about a month ago where Quilted Northern toilet paper was coming back in at the same price, but a lower quantity, meaning there's some shrinkflation going on. Well, now we've had a couple comments on different Kroger toilet paper. Now, I have a theory to this. Now, as to where I haven't seen many shortages, we've seen Kroger toilet paper stay the same price for almost a year now. So it's about time. I feel like we're due with some of these. I feel like Kroger toilet paper is going to be going up in price. Although nobody has said that, we've gotten a few comments from people that have said they've had trouble finding Kroger toilet paper. And this is usually what happens, is we'll see it go away and it'll come back, either shrinkflated or at a higher price. Now, Kroger initially changed the quality of their toilet paper. It's not the same as it used to be, in my opinion. It's a lot worse. I know we talk about toilet paper a lot, but we get a lot of comments on it, so just wanted to kind of bring my theory into that here for just a minute. I think it'll be coming back, but it's going to be coming back at a higher price. Couple other items, spices. Spices seem to be at the top of the list. Now, we've had an ongoing issue here in Cincinnati with spices for a long time. We notice that it's always the cheaper ones. One, because they're the cheapest, and two, they're hard to come in. They're hard to get by. Plus we have all these other things going on. There's been like investigation with cinnamon and stuff like that, imported cinnamon that's had high lead levels, that all started back with these cinnamon packets. And as much as I hate to say that a lot of people were affected and with high lead levels in these little applesauce packets that had cinnamon in them, if not for that, how long would this be going on? Now we've got more and more comments on stuff like Cheerios being in very short supply, Quaker products. Well, let me explain for those of you who are new on the channel. There have been a lot of issues with Quaker products, especially. We had the huge recall due to salmonella on granola bars and different cereal granola products and stuff, and that's been ongoing. That's been going on for a few months now. Well, now we're hearing that this chemical chlormequat, which has been used outside the country, has been a large part in why I guess Cheerios and some of these other products, Quaker Oats as well, has been involved. So what I talked about in another video is that I feel like they're silently taking them down and replacing them. I don't, as to where there hasn't been a recall, which I'm a little curious about myself, probably as much as you guys are, why this hasn't been completely taken down, but this may be what we're seeing. I'm not 100% sure. I've tried to do research. You can't find nothing. All you can find is that this chlormequat has been involved with Cheerios and some Quaker products. So, and this is concerning, especially for people that have been stocking up on these things as we find good prices, because that is one of the things that we always talk about on the channel. Stock up on these sales as you see them. Well, a lot of these things, Quaker Oats, cereals, things that are dry, things that you can seal up and have for a long time, these are products that are, we've gotten a lot of comments from our viewers that people have been stocking up on these things for a long time, and now they feel like they have to throw them away like it was a waste of money. I don't really know how to answer that other than I feel for you in the comments that we've gotten on this. We've never really stocked up on Quaker Oats. It's always been like a store brand. Like Aldi used to be a big one for us because they were $2.49. When those prices went up at Aldi to $2.95, and then they went back down to $2.49, we stocked up on them, because I knew they were going to be going back up. Now what are they here today? $3.95 for the big 42-ounce canister of either Old Fashioned or the Quick Oats. We like the Old Fashioned, but, these are the things why, we talk about these things. And I guess with the roll of the dice, we were lucky that we did that. But I look for the sales and then I buy up stuff as we go. We prepare for the future as much as we can. And when I say prepare for the worst, the reason why I say this is because I don't see any of this getting better in the near future. Maybe in the long-term future of things, I like to still feel a little bit optimistic, but my optimism is really skating thin with all the different things going on. And then whenever something seems to get better, there's more things that just seem to make it worse. So again, we don't have these discussions to scare you. We have these discussions to make sure that you're aware and prepared. Make sure you're prepared for the future and what is going on. Now, the other day I was talking about Kroger, okay, and some of the products that we saw that were missing, okay, and this was concerning for a lot of people. There was one with the different jellies and jams at Kroger. We saw a lot of inconvenience stickers. There was one person that said that they haven't been able to find some of their grape jelly in some stores. We mentioned this. We mentioned that the possibility of this happening was pretty good, considering about a year ago it was completely gone everywhere. We couldn't even find grape jelly at Big Lots. Now, as to where this is not a super concern, not as bad as like some of the over-counter medicine thing. And I'm going to get back to that here in a minute because there are more things turning up missing that we need to discuss as well. But as far as the jams and jellies and stuff like that, it's an ingredients thing. It has to be an ingredients thing. As you know, with things, people say like the store brands are the ones that usually turn up missing. I expect store brands to be the ones turning up missing because it's got to be harder for them to get ingredients. Think about it for a second. Now, one of the shortages that we've had that people have been talking about is frozen vegetables. Had a couple people over the last few weeks, some in our older videos, that were talking about your Publix being very low or out of some of their frozen vegetables, but being able to still find Bird's Eye and some other name brands. Well, the reason for that is because Bird's Eye focuses that's their entire business, is frozen vegetables and frozen products, right? That's not Publix or Kroger's main goal here. They have thousands and thousands of products, and as to where that could be why Bird's Eye costs more money, because they're paying more to get the product. So the product goes to them first, and then whatever's left seems to go to the store brands. My theory, not 100% sure on that. As a matter of fact, most of this video is going to be, I'd say, probably 99% my opinion. The reason why I consider these things to be valuable, though, is because usually we're all, not just me, we're all right. We're all correct in this situation when we start talking about these things, because we break it down in a way to where it has to be the case. It's not a transportation issue when it's only affecting a store like Kroger or a name brand product. And that is what we're dealing with the different jams or jellies. They're not getting the ingredients in quick enough. It's coming in, but it's coming in, you got to think, like, Kroger has thousands and thousands and thousands of stores to deliver to. Like, you're almost better off going to, like, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, some of these other places, and that's why we visit other places. So when things start missing from the stores, the major grocery stores, we try to seek out other options to find them. Now, back to the over-the-counter medicines. We've had some comments on different cold medicines. I did notice at Walmart today that it looked a lot lower than it did just a couple weeks ago. Now, we're going into spring. There's been a lot of colds going around, schools getting out with spring break and all that stuff. That could have something to do with it, right? And the fact that it was pretty well loaded down at Walmart last week kind of tells me, well, there's probably a bunch of colds or stuff going around. My allergies have been killing me. And allergy medicines was another one. Well, we are heading into spring. That is part of it. As we go along here, though, make sure you pay attention. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, as we visit multiple different stores every week to try and seek out these products that are missing. Right? I mean, we're always looking for products that people mention on the channel so that you have an idea where to get them. Now, I don't traditionally shop at like CVS or Walgreens, because every time I do, I feel like I'm getting ripped off. Now, Walgreens, out of most of them, does have like rewards coupons, money back options, stuff like that. But we may be visiting Walgreens here soon if some of these over-the-counter medicines and stuff like this get worse, because Walgreens is another option, probably the best option, maybe not the cheapest option, but at least they have it. They have it. And I know someone was talking about some kind of nasal spray that you get that you haven't had, that you were one of your friends was going to go to Sam's Club to see if they have it. I will tell you this, and I know you compare it to the Nascorp, or what is that called? Begins with an F. Flonase. Flonase, like the off-brand Flonase that your friend is going to check out the Members Mark. That is the best deal if they have them in. I haven't seen them at Sam's Club. I haven't seen them at Sam's Club the last few times. I used to take that stuff, and I quit taking it. I just got to the point to where I feel like it wasn't really helping me much. And I take like an off-brand Zyrtec now every 24 hours, and it seems to help me. Now, I don't take it every day all the time, only when my allergies are affecting me. It usually takes a few days for it to kick in. But Members Mark does have an off-brand of that. So if you happen to see this video before your friend goes to the store, maybe something you can look into. I'm just telling you what works for me, but I have not seen the off-brand Flonase at Kroger either. Okay, at our Kroger. Even though I don't use it anymore, I still look at things. I'm always looking at everything in case this moment arises and a viewer is talking about it. So here we are. So as far as a lot of other things, we've gotten a couple comments on actual pharmaceutical stuff that you have to get from the pharmacy being low or out as well. Now, we talked about this a few weeks ago in a video, and yeah, it seems like it's affecting a lot more people than we originally knew, but as we grow as a channel here, we are going to get more and more people that are, dealing with different issues and not able to find things. I know one of our longtime viewers, in our last video, we were talking about blood pressure medication, that they were only able to get half only able to get half. They were guaranteed the next half, but what good is a guarantee? Like, you should have had this from the beginning. And then there's been different things for diabetics, apparently, that is coming up now. That's been hard, like with different things with diabetes. And it's been multiple different things. Insulin, stuff like that, and only getting like a third of what you usually get when you go to a pharmacy. I mean, these are scary things, guys, especially during a time where we need to think about stocking up extra. And here we are having to resort to go back constantly to the pharmacy to get our medicine. I mean, that's ridiculous. These things not only need to get worked out, but we need to work these things out here. We need to work them out here in our home and not rely so much around the world on these products. Not saying anything bad about where they come from or how they get here, but I mean, they're not getting here, and that is important. That is important. I'm not even saying that all of them are from outside of this country, but most of them that aren't name brand are, and we need to work this out for our future as we prepare for who knows what. We still have crazy events going on around the world right now. I'm not going to go into the different wars going on or the different things going on that are going to ultimately cause more problems for everyone. Not people just here in this country, people all over the world. Everywhere. And this is something that we have to pay attention to. We got to make sure that, for one, we're looking into everything. People always say in the comments, make sure you're reading ingredients and stuff like that that you're putting into your body. I couldn't agree more. And the more and more, I feel like the more and more these things like Chlormequat, different, because you look on the back of a box of Cheerios, you're not going to find that chemical that was made to raise this wheat that you're eating in your Cheerios. Now, as to where most claim that it's such a small amount, it's not worth worrying about. Well, why are we just now hearing about it? And what's being done to prevent it in the future? And so if you lose a crop, well, it is what it is. You're charging $7.49 a box for a decent sized, huge box for Cheerios. But still, that's where Cheerios and some things have come down in price lately. I wonder why. But there's issues with a lot of different products right now, and I do agree we need to make sure that we're paying attention to everything we're eating. Some people have been asking about produce. Why is produce still high when some things are traditionally cheap? And the ones I'm talking about that are in season, right? Not out of season. Although we are finding some okay deals on things that are out of season as well. Like apples are out of season, yet we're finding them for 99 cents a pound. But back when they were in season, they were $1.99 a pound. So it's like some of these things don't make sense. They're just old apples that have been sitting around for a long time. We are finding better deals on potatoes, at least around here in Cincinnati. Now, one thing we have been talking about a little bit is chicken, poultry. Poultry, not only is the price going up, but a lot of people have said that they've gone to their stores, including some Walmarts. Got a couple comments the other day that a couple different people had gone into their Walmart and the chicken was very low. Somebody sent me a photograph. It looked really low. It looked like there was, not barely, right? There was a decent amount, maybe as much as like what an Aldi would have. But you think the massive aisle of chicken, there's probably 20 or 30 packets. It looked pretty low. And for the high prices and everything else, this is what's going to cause the prices to go up as well. Look at Tyson chicken. Tyson chicken, not only is it unaffordable, right? Tyson's having a million problems of its own right now. We're not even going to get into that. I know what you guys are going to say. I know what you're going to leave in the comments. And yes, it's discouraging and it's sickening in some ways. But you start looking at some of these different brand of chickens like Purdue, some of these different Amish chickens. I'm expecting these prices to skyrocket. I'm expecting them to get even more or close or more expensive as these ongoing issues with Tyson continue. So when you find a good deal on different chicken, whether it's frozen, fresh, anything, I would buy it up. If you have some extra freezer space, because it is going to be going up in price. There's no doubt in my mind. Every trend is pointing for chicken to start sailing in price. Now, if there's any good news here, I did go to Walmart today, and that video will be coming out tomorrow as we go over a lot of the different great value products and whether Walmart is actually a great value anymore. Save that for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any uploads that we do. I know there's been some people who've said that they've missed some of our morning. We put a video out every morning. There is a video out here for you on Adventures with Dano, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time every morning. So if for some reason you don't get a notification, know that you can get on YouTube, go to my channel page, and it'll be there waiting for you. With a big old smile or a big old frown, depending on the mood of the video. Been a lot of frowns lately. I gotta say, I've seen a lot of different price increases on things that are... I don't know why it surprises me anymore. I really don't. I really don't. I go in and I find a bunch of new things. Like, because what it is a lot of our viewers, I start tallying them up. I start writing things down. And then I'll go through the store and I'll look for a certain product that you've asked about. And usually the reason why someone has asked about it is either it's not coming in the stores or the prices have gone up. And it's like, either way, I'm delivering bad news for you. And I apologize for that. But at least we're finding out what's going on, right? At least we're finding out together what is going on with that product. That happens a lot when I go to Kroger. Right? And then I'll see an inconvenience sticker. All the comments that we have gotten on that Premier Protein. Everywhere we go, it's gone. They got it at Sam's Club. Who knows for how long? So if you drink the Premier Protein, if you are... some people are actually saying they were prescribed the Premier Protein through a doctor. So if that's the case, maybe try to get it online. I really don't know. But it's gone. At Kroger and pretty much everywhere else. They do have Ensure, but apparently Ensure does not have the protein content, and maybe for the price too, because the Protein Plus, which I know one of our longtime viewers is actually prescribed to, is $14.99 at Kroger. $14.99 for six of them. 4 of them of the Premier Protein are $10. So I mean, you're not, that's about the same. That is the same. But when you divide it out, that's the same. 2 more added would be $15. So you're getting more protein in that drink. So I think that has something to do with it. But yeah, they're gone. I've been continuing to keep an eye on them when I see them. I know a couple people here in Cincinnati, some seniors that need. One of them needs Ensure, which I always point that one out for him. And then the Premier Protein, which we can't find anywhere but Sam's Club. Now, Sam's Club is a little bit of a better deal, but it's not that big a savings. Some stuff at Sam's Club is not a huge savings, but at least they get it in. Now, I know one issue that somebody said with Members Mart or the Sam's Club is that the only one they ever have is vanilla. That I know I guess everybody likes the chocolate. Who wouldn't? But yeah, the only one I've seen lately, at least at Sam's Club, has been the vanilla. They've been out of the chocolate. So people have caught on. People are aware. And as to where that's a good thing, we're not, the product is disappearing. We continue to see items disappear from grocery stores. Bread is becoming an issue as well again, and it's becoming one around here as well. And not just store brands. We're seeing name brands be less and less. Less and less. Again, I was at Walmart today, and I want to completely, give the whole video away here, but the very first thing that I saw at Walmart was a significant shortage of their great value bread. No 100% whole wheat, no honey wheat, a few things of wheat, and a few things of their white bread. Now, normally I would be like, well, okay, I guess but I was there very early, like 7:30 in the morning. So it was like, well, you didn't have any to put away? Now, the workforce at our Walmart is pretty good. I mean, they're loading things up, putting things away. They're pretty good at that, and they don't have it. They just don't have it. And I was a little curious a couple weeks ago when I went to Walmart and saw it load in. And I just thought to myself, kind of that 2-week thing. That's why I'm mentioning it here. A lot of you guys on the channel know that I like to talk about the 2-week thing. Well, here we are in that 2-week thing, and what was already low on their bread is near gone. So it's, and because we're getting tons of comments, probably have gotten 40 to 50 comments. I almost said 100, but it's more like 40 to 50 comments on a lot of our viewers who have been to the store. And the bread that you buy, whichever brand that is, has been low or out. Somebody mentioned Sara Lee, too, which is funny because Sara Lee is outrageously expensive. I would not expect that to disappear off the shelves. But we've noticed with some of our local brands like Butternut has been a lot lower at Kroger. Now, I did see a decent amount at Walmart today, but they don't sell a lot. Like, if Kroger had that same amount that Walmart had, then I would be sounding the alarm. Like, something's going on. We're not getting the product. We're not getting the ingredients. Stock up on your bread or buy a bread maker. Maybe that's the best idea. We have a lot of viewers on the channel who've been making their own bread and, you know, save money. And I'll tell you what, that's the way to go. There's nothing like fresh bread. But for those who can't or just don't want to, what was the other one somebody mentioned? We did notice this one just went up in price again, too. It's been $2.69 at Kroger. Sunbeam was another one that someone said was pretty much out at one of your stores. I think you said Kroger. We've seen at Kroger where it's been completely out. Now, it's been months. It's probably been like 5 or 6 months since we saw that. But when we saw it come back in, came back up at a higher price. Now, we saw where Sunbeam just went up at Meijer. Okay, just went up at Meijer, so it could be a case where it's going away, coming back at a higher price. I don't know if it's gone up at Kroger again. I haven't checked on it in a while. When I go to Kroger Marketplace, it looks like it's pretty full on bread. I mean, there'll be some sections of like specialty breads that'll be gone, but that's how it's been for the last few years. So I don't think nothing of that, but has been low on butternut bread and some other breads as well lately. But every time I go to Kroger Marketplace, they seem like they're pretty well loaded down. I don't think I checked last week. We may have to check this week as we go along. We are a week away from Easter, too, so I'm also trying to point out some different Easter deals, maybe some holiday foods, stuff like that. We may be checking out some different candies here this week, see what kind of sale. I know there's been some comments, me wanting to check out some different like kids' candies and stuff like that. We may go over some of that here as we go along. But I'll tell you what, it's crazy times, guys. Nothing has changed. We're only just learning as a team here to become more prepared for the future. We have to because these prices are not coming down. Don't believe anybody you say. As optimistic as I used to sound about it a couple years ago, I'm not as much today because of what we've seen, what we've dealt with, how much we're spending at the grocery store, how much we're bringing home, right? Because that's what you really see. You spend so much at the grocery store and you come home and you set it all out in your counter and you're like, what is this? What is this? There's nothing here. It's like the brain has already focused on what you can afford, what you want to spend really, because you could spend more, but the brain doesn't think like that. The brain thinks like, well, this is my realm of what I spend. This is what I can spend. This is the reality of it, right? When it comes together and you realize you just spent a fortune on just a few items. That's why we always talk about it, guys. We always talk about buying up the sales as we see them. Make sure you are staying tuned to everything going on with us and with everything. Not just me, not just on this channel here. Just whenever you can, if you get alerts on different recalls and stuff like that. I can't cover everything, although I try to. But that way, we're not continuing to buy things that are, tainted with chlormequat and all this stuff. I will not be buying Cheerios. I will not be buying any Quaker products until this has been resolved. Until I see in the news. It's funny how this stuff works. Everything pops up like this is such a big issue, but nothing's being done about it. So let's just quietly take it off and not worry about it. Nope, I don't forget. Although, with that Jif peanut butter, we kind of... Jess is such a Jif peanut butter lover, and, maybe they've learned from their mistakes, and there hasn't been an issue since, so I don't know. Happy wife, happy life on that one, but there are some things that I won't do. I just won't. If something that has been not in everybody wants to talk about these things that's not in the ingredients and all this stuff. And here we are years later. Who knows how long this has been being put in the cereal, right? You know, and one thing that I didn't go into today, which I wanted to, but I will talk about here in the coffee rant, is the Walmart Great Value peanuts, the honey roasted coconut, right? That was undeclared. Now, I mean, it's good that they were on top of it, and, you know, everybody makes mistakes. But it's like these things are happening more and more and more. And it's like, you know, the wrong person grabs something like that, like myself, someone who's allergic to coconut. I mean, these things need to be taken maybe a little more seriously. And I don't know if they can. Like, you know, there's mistakes everywhere. All we can do is pay attention to what is going on at the time of when it's going on. And that is why we're here, to make sure we keep you in the know of everything, and, you know, ourselves as well. I mean, I'm checking these things, you know, to make sure that there's no extra coconut or something in something, because, yeah, that could be devastating to me. Yeah, crazy times, guys. Make sure you are preparing. Pray for the best, plan for the worst. Plan for the worst, pray for the best. I mean, that's been my saying my entire life. Something my dad had always said. Or what's the pray for peace, prepare for war. I don't want to say that, right? Because that's not really what it is. But in some ways, it's, you know, you want to make sure that you are planning for the future. And if you look at it as what we've looked at it over the last couple years, then if you prepare for the worst and it ends up not being that, then you've got a bunch of food that you saved a fortune on that you're ultimately saving money for the future anyway. But guys, that is my rant for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. You know, we just have to stay prepped, never give up the fight, and just continue the course, guys. Continue the course. We will get through this together, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.